every time something happens with this organization, I always make it a priority to post on your Twitter post to say, man, Grant been saying this all along. Grant been predicting this. And my problem with that is some people will just look at it and like, oh, Grant, he just a talking head. He's just media, et cetera, et cetera. And I look at it like this. If you can see all these problems with the team, why can't Jed see this? Why can't Kyle see this?
I'm not that smart. You know what I'm saying?
Now, here's the thing about it. The problem with the 49ers is systemic, right? Because Jed was handed this team.
Right.
He didn't do anything to earn this team.
Nope.
He was born into this team. Period. At the end of the day. Kyle. Now, people gonna say Kyle cut his teeth. He worked to get to where he's at. I disagree on that. He was born into football.
Yep.
He was born into football. If his last name wasn't Shanahan, he would still be an OC or a position coach somewhere. That's my honest opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which now you got two guys, and they're basically at the top of the organization, and none of them have any personal accountability for the decisions that they make. Right. Because Jed, he can continue to cycle through head coaches. When he hired Tom Sula and Chip Kelly, we should have already knew this is not the guy we want running the organization. Mm-hmm. Right? That should have been the telltale right there. Right. Now, okay, he went and got Kyle Shanahan, and that was an upgrade from Chip Kelly or Tom Sula. So
it was an interesting experiment. It certainly was.
Yep. We thought, oh man, we struck gold with this one.
Yep.
But we got to think, man, Kyle has been around the league. He was with the Browns, the Skins, the Texans. He blew the Super Bowl in Atlanta.
Yep.
I feel like the writing was on the wall. The writing has been on the wall the whole time.
Yep.
But Jed, it doesn't strike me as and I've met Jed before at a Texans preseason game in Houston. I met the entire York family. And Jed don't strike me as the type of guy that really just says, you know what? I'm a grinder. I'm going to do this research myself. I'm going to make sure that the guy I'm hiring is really fit for this job. We hired John Lynch. No offense to John Lynch. I met John Lynch before. I like the guy. We hired him off of TV. And to some people, that might not.
That's what that's what I said. Like, every person Jed hires is a first timer, man. Kyle was never been a head coach, but Jed can see that he's going to be good. Lynch has never been a general manager. Mike Singletary, every single one. At a certain, it makes me feel like he's threatened by people who have accomplished things in their life because he never did. He never accomplished anything.
He was handed the team.
So a guy like Sean Payton, that's a guy who's accomplished a whole lot in his life. That guy's going to threaten Jed York. He would rather have someone who has accomplished nothing or very little, and Jed could be like, I see promise in you. I'm going to make your dreams come true, and you're going to owe me because you weren't really deserving of this opportunity. Just like I wasn't really deserving of this opportunity either, but I'm going to make your dreams come true.
And then this goes back to what I said about accountability. When Trey Lance got hurt and the team acted the way that they did, I guarantee you nobody said, you know what, I'm going to call a private meeting with these guys and say, hey, y'all didn't support the trade the way a player should be supported when they just had a career-ending injury. Like, man, that was to me, I've been a Niners fan since I was a child, 1994, and that was like one of the low moments for the team right there, in my opinion, because everybody saw it on a national level. Like, people that's not even 49ers fans was talking about that on Twitter. You could see, go back and watch that game. I got her DVR'd over here. You go back and watch that game. You can see it's like they didn't care that man just got carted off. And that shows me that the team has no accountability, no leadership. Not to mention, one of our best leaders, DeForest Buckner, we traded him off like, oh, just another number. And look what we getting out of the two guys that we basically traded DeForest Buckner off for. The only time I saw Eric Armstead step up and say anything, even try to act like a leader, was when the whole situation with you and Kinlaw went on. Now you want to come in. Now these guys can come out and be vocal and can say whatever. But none of them came out and said anything. That could have happened behind closed doors when the injury with Trey happened, and they all were just acting like, oh, this is the greatest day ever. We get Jimmy back. Then on top of that, the fact that we don't have a head coach that can make his team see Jimmy ain't the one.
Yeah.
Like, that should be a least of the head coach's concern having to argue. Do you think Belichick had to sell Brady leaving New England? And Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. He didn't have to sell that to
right. If Belichick says the coach is Mac Jones, that's what it is. If he says the quarterback is Bailey Zappi, then that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Mac Jones the quarterback this week, and nobody's going to say nothing about it because guess what? Belichick, not only does he hold himself accountable, but he holds every player accountable, even Tom Brady. Tom Brady got tired of being held accountable because he felt he was above that. Okay, so you can go, Tom. Jimmy should have been gone. George Kittle should have been gone. McGlinchey should have been gone. Eric Armstead, we should have kept Buckner over him. Kinlaw, we should have never drafted him. Why did we trade for McCaffrey when Mostert is in Mostert is in Miami right now, playing like he was when we went to the Super Bowl and he carried us on his back to the Super Bowl. Why we have so many players? I made a joke on Twitter saying I was about 2 or 3 ex-Niners on every roster. Like Dante Pettis making plays in Chicago. He never made plays in San Francisco. The list goes on and on and on. You tell me, all right, when guys here, they can't play. Jerick McKinnon. Guys in here, they can't play. You let them lead a team, all of a sudden, they can play again. How's that? That's at the top. If people don't see and I love Cal when he first came in. I love Jimmy when we first got him. But bro, it's like a relationship. You only got to cheat on me once to show me you don't care about me.
It's true.
That's it.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true. We've learned everything, man. We're all like giving this team like the third chance. No third chances. No third chances. Move on. Great call. What?
One last thing. I think even if we made an attempt to trade for Brady, I don't think Brady would come here because more probably so than any player in the league, Brady can look around and say, damn, they got some talent, but this organization is dog shit.